Hello and welcome to Rambling Runner Reviews, and today we are talking about the Asics Gel Nimbus 24. So 24 versions of this Asics shoe, which means obviously it's been a stalwart for a lot of people for a very long time. This has traditionally been a shoe that has been a neutral trainer with a little bit of stability and a little bit of max cushion. Now you wouldn't put it in either stability or max cushion category, but it kind of leans towards that range. And for a lot of people, that has worked very well for them. Now, what did they do in this one to either make it better or potentially make it worse? Now, the big thing is, this has been a complete rebuild. As we've seen with many shoes over the years, sometimes it's a little bit of a change, whether it's in the upper or the outsole or what have you. This is a complete remodel. When I stepped into this shoe, it was the most comfortable step and feel I've ever had in a running shoe. And I had enormously high hopes, okay? Part of that step and feel is gonna come from this upper. This upper is absolutely fantastic. It's kind of a knit upper with engineered mesh elements within it, and you have, it's really stretchy, okay? You can kind of fits around your foot. With some Asics shoes, there is a lot of, I guess, toe splay area in the toes, down through the vamp. And for me, as someone who has very narrow around the toe area, that has had some issues for me. So I have the Asics Metaspeed Sky, and I can kind of slide around a little bit in the toe area. This one was not an issue, which I really enjoyed. The upper is absolutely fantastic. As any shoe that has stability elements within it, they're gonna have some plushness in the collar. Asics is known for that stout heel collar. That's exactly what you have here. You have plenty of plushness inside the step-in area. The tongue is brand new. It's very stretchy. At first, you're not sure what to do with it. You almost feel like it's kind of out of place. Ultimately, it sits wonderfully underfoot. The upper is absolutely fantastic in this shoe, okay? The outsole is very similar to outsoles past here in the Asics line. All right, plenty of grip. The rubber is going to be really good. You also see plenty of exposed midsole here, which means it kind of brings down the weight a little bit from an outsole perspective. Ultimately, Asics has always done a really good job with outsole construction and upper construction. Now, not every last fits my foot shape, but ultimately you know what you're going to get from an Asics shoe in those two areas, and that is no different in the Gel Nimbus 24, and I can really appreciate that. And that's why I had such high hopes for this shoe. So from a weight and stats perspective, men's size 9 is 10.2 ounces, women's size 8 is a 9-ounce shoe. So it's around the normal daily trainer range that you would see, especially with stability elements. Okay, you can kind of see a little bit of a torsion device here in the medial side of the midsole. Okay, it doesn't twist a lot, a little bit, not a lot. So again, with shoe which has a 36-26 stack, for women it's a 36-23 stack. The 10 to 9 range from the men's and the women's is pretty standard. You see me I can't help. I always get finicky with this tongue, even when I'm just talking about the shoe. I don't know what it is, but ultimately, the weight is where you would expect for a daily trainer with some stability elements. Okay. Now let's talk about the crux of this shoe, and ultimately why this shoe for me is no longer in my running shoe rotation, and that is the midsole. Okay, I had such high hopes. I have loved Asics midsoles for a long time. I loved Flight Foam. I loved Flight Foam Blast. Flight Foam Turbo in the Metaspeed Sky is absolutely fantastic. And here we have Flight Foam Blast Plus, which Asics has marketed as more bouncy and softer than Flight Foam Blast. Flight Foam Blast being the midsole foam that's in the Nova Blast, which I've had versions 1 and 2. I have loved. So many people have loved that shoe. So I had hugely high hopes for the Flight Foam Blast Plus. Better than Flight Foam Blast? This is going to be great. Yeah, it's not. It's just not, okay? The problem with this shoe is as soon as you start running in it, especially for me 20 minutes in, at first, I thought that I was like, had something in my shoe. I've seen Kafuzi do a review of this shoe, and he had said something about how like he was having some forefoot issues, that he thought it was a gel pod in the forefoot that he could feel. Ultimately, it's not the gel pods. You're feeling these. You're feeling the outsole ridges. You'd think at first, oh, maybe the construction of the outsole was done incorrectly. It's not the case. What ends up being the case is this midsole, this Flight Foam Blast Plus, is just too soft. Okay, your foot, or say my foot, goes through it like a knife through melting butter. And I have 180-foot cadence. I take short, quick steps. I'm not a pounder. I don't bang my foot into the ground. I am someone who can handle a minimalistic shoe. I have plenty in there. I got the Atreyu base model right over there. I'm looking at it right now. I can wear that shoe, no problem. This shoe, I couldn't handle it. My foot was hitting the ground. All right, I'm a 4-foot striker, and it was just banging into the ground. Like, look at this push. All right, I'm putting zero pressure, and I'm squishing this whole thing down. I'm barely moving this thing, okay? If you are a heel foot striker, a rear foot striker, maybe this shoe would work for you, but ultimately, I can't wear this shoe because instead of it being a moderate to kind of maximalist stack Nimbus, which has been in recent years, this for me basically feels like $140 to $160 10-ounce minimalistic shoe because I am hitting the ground. And ultimately, that's not what I signed up for. I'm not spending $150 to feel like I'm running around barefoot. Okay, I could do that for free. And basically, for me, Asics grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory with this shoe. If they had just gone with Fight Foam Blast in this shoe, this would be my favorite shoe in my drawer. No question about it. Okay? Be easily my favorite daily trainer. I love the upper. I love the lockdown. I love the tongue. I love the outsole. Has great grip. Not too much rubber. The whole thing is right there. Instead, they come up with this newfangled midsole, which just doesn't work at this stack height. Okay? If you're gonna have this super duper soft midsole that can just, it compresses that far down, then you either need to make a dual density, right? Kind of like the Hoka Mach 4 or a variety of other midsoles out there. So dual density where you have one above and one below, kind of like what you see with this blue section here, but have it go all the way down. Or you just have to make more of it and go full high stack and go say 38-30, right? So you have another 4 to 6 millimeters of stack in the 4-foot. But ultimately, this shoe is a no-go for me. I can't run it anymore. It's a dog walking shoe for me, and it's really upsetting because first of all, I spent my own money on this shoe, right? This was not gifted to me. I wasted $150 on this shoe for a shoe I can't run in, and it could have been so great. So Asics Gel Nimbus 25, next year, please just solve this problem. It's so easy to solve. And I hope you do, because I loved everything else about this shoe. Thank you so much for watching Rambling Runner Reviews. Make sure you check out the podcast, the Rambling Runner Podcast, where we feature and chronicle the lives of daily amateur runners who are doing just amazing things out there in the running scene. Thank you so much for watching, and happy running.